And then it hit me. I was like, lo people, lo kulubangabo. Why do these people matter? Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. As you guys know, I don't really give a shit what time it is that you get to watch this. I'm just glad you actually came to the party. Welcome to the third and most anticipated episode of my YouTube channel. My name is Muriel Ndimande, and I must say this has probably been the most stressful episode that I've had to film. I know I've said this before, but I mean this was like extremely stressful. So I shot so many times in between today, and I just didn't want to take it out because I went through something that I've never experienced before. And yes, they've been going through your name. It was the devil. I went through something, the Abantu Bazotini syndrome. Imagine a whole week. And when that came and took over, I got very nervous about the next episode that I was going to take, that I was filming and I was going to put out there. Let me just quickly have a sip. Ooh. So I got nervous because somebody asked one of the people that watch my channel, what's Zama's channel about? And this person responded and said, it's about love. And I was like, but when I think about it, they had a point, because just after the introduction, the only other episode I've had out was about love languages. So it was right for them to say that at that particular moment, that no, her channel is about love. And then it scared me because the next episode, which is something I'm going to be speaking about today, was also something that's got to do with love and everything. So I was like, oh my god, I don't want people to think I'm the girl that's just always going to be talking about love. Oh my god. And then it hit me. I was like, lo people, lo kulubangabo. Why do these people matter, girl? You know, I am proudly a lover of love, guys. So if it's inevitable, most of my topics are gonna have love in them, and I don't mind. I'm not gonna now try and like force things. I'm like, oh. So I spent a week and I was just like, I don't know if I want to do this. And it was crazy because I'd already like conducted a survey with people, asking them questions about this particular topic. And I was like, no, I don't know if I want to do this. And then I had a bit of an emotional breakdown earlier on this week. And so I was like, should I just talk about what I'm going through? Should I just talk about it? I'm crying right now. And then I was like, nah, you know, it's too soon. It's way too soon for me to be putting my whole life out there. You know, right now, let's just talk about izinto that are just casual. Let's just talk about things that will help us, you know, in the department of love, if it happens to be love, you know. Wow, I've spoken for way too long without saying the most important thing first, which is thank you so much to all of my YouTube subscribers. I do see the numbers going up. I also want to say a very big thank you to the people that have viewed both my episodes loyally, and people that have been watching over and over again. I do know that a few people have been forcing their boyfriends to watch the show as well. Hi, Sadile. A very big thank you to all of you guys for the support and the love. That is really something that is very encouraging. My friends have been absolutely amazing. My colleagues have been absolutely amazing. Like, you know, Nje, they make me feel like I'm the girl that I think I am, which is a good thing. So yes, let's just jump straight into it. I don't know what's happening with my English. I swear this is my first class, so I can't be able to sing that good. So let's jump right into it. So today's episode is going to be about I don't know if I want to title it Love at First I don't know if I want to title it Love at First Sight or if I want to title it Trying Something New. We'll see as it goes on. So there's a bit of a backstory with this topic and why I decided I wanted to talk about it and why I've now ventured into investing more of my time in it, because I actually went all out. I went the extra mile. I did interviews, like little surveys, asking niggas questions, you know, just to figure out if I was on the right path and just to understand if what I thought was right, because I like ukukhuluma ngento engiyaziyo or ukukhuluma ngento that I have a bit more knowledge on than speculating and using my speculations as facts. So that's why I spend so much time just doing my research on that particular topic. So this particular topic, right, as I've mentioned, love at first sight or trying something new. So it was back in Jan. It was back in January where I went out on a date. Oh, and by the way, guys, I'm not wearing any makeup today. I'm literally wearing zero makeup. So you might see that I'm shiny or whatever, or I'm sweaty or whatever. Really, I'm not wearing makeup because my skin has just not been very good to me lately. I have very sensitive skin. So I had a breakout of rash and I've been trying to sort that out. I went to a doctor yesterday to try and actually sort that out as well. So I am trying not to put on any makeup to make the damage worse. But I'm sure I still look good. Oh, there's hair in my eye. Yeah, but I'm sure I still look good. I mean, child. But yes, so enough about that. Let's go back to the topic. So the reason, so yes, as I was saying, back in Jan, I went out with old friend of mine. We went out for lunch. At that time, the relationship that I was in was critical, was in ICU. So we went out for a lunch date and we had a conversation. Then I asked this friend of mine, oh, what's it dude? Like, mas kuluma, you know, between you and me. This is a person that is very honest with me. He has been honest with me from the get-go. So I trust him and I always know that maybe or when I say something to him, is always going to give me the most honest opinion and the most truthful opinion, and it's just a genuine person. So I asked him, I'm like, how it's yes, when we talking just amongst ourselves, if you were to tell me right now that's me that makes our relationship not actually last as long as I would like them to last, and what would you say I need to change when it comes to this dating thing? Because I mean, for the last 3 relationships that I've had were all the same, just a different nigga. Like, it was always the same shit, just a different nigga. Same shit, just a different nigga. So this guy was like, I genuinely just feel like you need to do things differently. And when I say you need to do things differently, I mean you have a routine when it comes to dating. So my routine was, when I date someone, I'll date them. Before I date them, I do this whole let's be friends thing. And then when we become friends, I obviously get to know a bit too much about you. And then the whole thing, you know, and then that's when it would become a project for me instead of a relationship, you know, and I'm trying to fix you and all of those things. And so he says that to me. He's like, so just try dating a stranger, like randomly meet somebody and just get straight into a relationship with this person. Find out all the things that you usually find out about a person when you're already dating them, before you date them rather. But I'm like, okay, I hear you. In the back of my head, I'm thinking, child, I want to do I want to get to know you thing first. I want to, you know, like, I am not just about to be like at a stranger and date a stranger. That's not me. That's out of my comfort zone. I'm not going to do that. In the back of my head, that was me. Some time goes by, and I always say this to people, I'm a firm believer, the world and the world works with you, like God, your ancestors, whatever it is you believe in, they work for you and with you. You just have to listen. It's so often whenever I think of something, or whenever I have a conversation about something, or whenever someone says something or raises something, or whenever I have a new interest in a certain way of living, usually it happens because did you hear that? But certain figures cards is so what experience and experiment and because I'll give you an example with my vehicle. I didn't give a shit about emote. But that particular year, when I was like, I'm Satan combat, like it got so bad, and then it was because the baile basically different again. So usually, when I go through something, when I start talking about something, when something starts to matter to me, it's because they don't you know. So after that conversation, I was like, I'm not comfortable with that. I genuinely, you know, and I was like, I'll try, but I didn't do that.
As you can see, I started Googling things about love at first sight.
So it wasn't even into being and until recently, right? So just before I carry on with my story, I'm gonna apologize as usual for the noise. It is very, very hot in here with the lights for me to be able to just film wind and all of those things. And the last time I tried it with the fan on, it didn't sound very good. So you guys are gonna hear the hooting, you're gonna hear the buses and the cars and the trucks. Girl, it's the city life, man. I'm just trying to make you experience the city life. But yeah, so until recently, I never thought I would be able to actually do this love at first sight thing, or just go into a relationship completely blindsided with somebody in funde cisjola type of thing. But a recent situation happened. So let me first tell you, right, why I decided this was going to be my topic. I saw this on my Facebook. It was a tweet. Somebody tweeted, do niggas really fall in love within 2 days? And then Oscar Mbo replied back and said, niggas don't fall in love. We decide we're going to love that person. And from the time that we decide, and that's it, you know. And so I went out on a limb. I was like, no man, let me ask a few niggas, you know. I asked guys, I'm like, on a scale of 1 to 10, or can you count the times for me where you got into a relationship and you fell in love with the person? And niggas would be like, oh, once or twice or whatever, unintentionally. And usually most of the time when I fall in love with someone, it's because I want to fall in love with them, and I've decided from the get-go when I meet them, and that is it, you know. So most of the niggas were replying like that, and
I couldn't find the recording, so there will be no snippet being played.
Where he also gave me his view on this whole thing. So then I went and I researched more. I mean, I'm a researcher. I researched more about this whole thing, and it turns out there are 3 elements basically when it comes to this love at first sight thing. The first element would be attraction, of course. The second element would be connection, and then the third element would be communication. And when I was reading this, it was making sense, but of course, when you've not experienced it, there's only so much of it that you can understand, right? So I'm going to tell you a bit of a story. So just recently, like 2 weeks back, I had posted a story on my Facebook where I was just being funny, as usual. I posted a story on my Facebook where I was just being funny, and there's a guy that commented with my laughing emojis. So this guy is a guy that I don't know. I know him because I have him on my social media. I had a crush on him for a very long time, but we've never spoken to each other, we've never met each other, we've never been in the same room with each other. Then he commented on the story. I replied back to him, of course, being the slutty flirtatious bitch that I am. I replied back, the conversation went on, and then a few minutes later the guy was like, yo, how do you feel about just sending me your location so I can pick you up and then we can hang out? I was like, okay. Then the words of Ganami started to ring back, and I was like, try something new. So I'm like, yeah, sure. Let me just give you my WhatsApp number, then we can talk on WhatsApp. And then we spoke. The nigga asked, so the nigga asked me, like, okay, so where you from? And I'm like, okay, no, I'm from the city, you know, I'm in South Beach. And he's like, okay, cool. So is it okay if I come through and I get you and we can hang out? I'm like, yeah, sure, you know. He asked me to send him my location. I didn't do that immediately. I was contemplating. So while I was contemplating, I'm a very anxious person, by the way, and I'm an overthinker. So I'm like, do I really want to do this? I don't know. Maybe I want to cancel. I'm gonna give him an excuse. I'm like, no, I can't do it today. Let's do it some other time. Let's just first get to know each other, type of thing. And then Uncle was like, hey child, no, we're not doing that again, you know. So I finally got the courage. I sent him my location. He came through. And then when he came, right, guys, I kid you not, this is a true story. This is a very, very true story. When he came through, the car that he was in had sunroof, if I'm not mistaken. Angazi noma bekukhona sunroof number sengidakwe uthando ngidakwe ukuchameka. He comes, and when I opened the door and I sat in, like I came in and I sat, and when I looked at him, like I turned my eye, I'm trying to be a shy girl, you know, like I'm fumbling, you know, I'm Johnny. And then I walk in, Shale pants, man, get to chat. I kid you not, guys. You know how in movies they will have like a light shining on a particular person, maybe with kashiako, and their hair blows and whatnot? For me, his sunroof lay was just directly above him, and then yamkhanyi so ngathi khanya isango lezulu ngelesizozungeza. I even heard the music in my head, the and boy did the nigga look fine. And I was like, is this me now? I receive. I'm taking. This is my mano. I decided in that particular moment, I was like, yabolo, muntu I don't care. I don't know anything about him. I don't know if there's a person in his life. I don't know if I was just like, I don't give a shit. This is my nigga. And this nigga is gonna be my nigga, you know? And I got into the car. This, mind you, this is the first time me and this person have actually met. When we got into the car, so the attraction parts of the 3 parts or the 3 steps of love at first sight ticked, gone, right? Then as the car started to move, guys, I won't even lie to you, the whole way to where we were going, which is like 15 minutes away from my house, there was not a moment where there was awkward silence. Besikhuluma ngathi kade sazana. It was like nje umuntu ekade ngamazi, ivibe ibikhona, so connection ticked, communication, like literally on the way I found out everything that I needed to know about him. The question about the age, kids, relationship, all of those questions that we usually wait, you know, to ask on the first date. Endleleni bese siphendulene sisazana yonke into about each other. So when I came back from that, the whole post that I saw kept on resonating in my head. And because I won't even lie to you guys, that day was so beautiful and perfect that I literally I'll even go as far as saying I fell in love with that guy that particular day within a space of 15 minutes. Like the drive to where we were going was when I decided, okay, yabo lo muntu lo umuntu wami akho umuntu ozongitshela fuck all. I don't even care if I hear that he's killed 17 people before in his past. Why would I go that far? Why did I go there? But like, I'm just trying to make you understand about anything else, because I literally, when I saw him, I was like, okay, this is my nigga. And when we had the conversation, I was like, no, because there were quite a few things, to be honest, that usually would have been a red flag for me, that he answered to me very honestly and responded to me very honestly. And as the night or the day went by, when we were together, we were around other people, he exposed a lot of himself to me. He told me straight up, like, this nigga was literally on some, this is me, it's either you're going to take me as I am, or, you know, child, we can part ways. So it was a beautiful experience. And I went back and I was like, okay, so maybe lento le eyaishiwo is actually quite true, because now he expressed that from the time that I replied back to his inbox, he decided, okay, now don't bam, you know. And so I went back and I asked my friends, I asked a couple of people, I was like, okay, so about this whole you don't fall in love, you decide thing, and most of them were agreeing, and I was also kind of sort of experiencing it. So Lendole, basically what I'm trying to get out there to you guys with today's episode is that maybe sometimes, and I'm not saying this to everyone who's, oh my gosh, Ritinya was not working for you, but sometimes we have to step out of our comfort zone to experience true happiness and true joy, and to experience lenta suiciding at that particular time, because we know what we want, but it's never really, or it shouldn't always be about what you want, but it should also be about what you need at that particular time. And I needed, God knows I needed something different. God knows I needed something that was going to be a whole different experience and a whole new chapter and a whole new thing for me from everything that I had experienced before and from everything that I had gone through before. And the more I was speaking about this, the more I was realizing ukuthi hayi bo, lento ngempela iyenzeka, because I have a friend right now who's currently in the happiest relationship she's ever been with a guy nakhona who was a complete stranger, met on Facebook. We all need to write a letter to Mark Zuckerberg or whatever his name is, and just thank him for Facebook, because wow, and he happy choma maganwabanga kanje because of Facebook, you guys. But she's in, it's everything that she's ever dreamed everything that she's ever dreamed of. She got it from this particular stranger, and uhappy ngale ndlela nami engihappy ngayo at this particular moment. So the more ngicabanga lento, the more ngi-review and the more ngi-revisita, is that, you know, even there are so many instances where people just go out on a limb and go and do things that they'll never do on a regular, and it ends up being into abasuke bedinga. For me personally, it is a bit too soon for me to be honest. Oh my god, I found the love of my life, he's my soulmate. But with everything that I know about him at this particular moment, and the way that we are just gelling and the relationship is just so natural and nothing is not forced, I know everything that I need to know. Like, I was having a conversation with another friend of mine, most of the time that abafana do, and I'm saying abafana because I'm referring to my own personal experiences. Some of you might be able to relate because of Mazani have done this to you as well. But yabo umuntu masenjwayelene kakhulu before nithandane, kuba khona this manipulation thing that a person will have towards you, or they will do with relationship yenu, where you end up not putting yourself first anymore, and it's always about this person. I'll give you a typical example. When I say manipulation, I mean things like when you mazi umuntu, right? Let's say you're gonna date somebody that you've been friends with for like 4 years or a couple of months, and this person mekhuluma nawe, uhlezi ekutshela inkinga zakhe, uyazi ukuthi situation aphuma kuyona injani, uyazi ukuthi background yakhe injani, uyazi ukuthi ubo ubhekene nezimo ezikanjani. All of those things zigcine lezo zinto seyisebenza as some sort of manipulation, right? Like, correct me if I'm wrong, but that is my view on it. Gcine sekuba manipulation there, because lo muntu lo uzothi before wenze into usuzokwazi manje, usuzoqala phansi manje umcabangele, usho ukuthi hey mengenza kanje usibani bani uzokhumbula ukuthi hey noSipho ngo1965 okwamenza kanje, yabo leyo nto leyo so athi ngayenzi leyo nto leyo, even if kuyinto wena obufisa ukuyenza, yabo. So that's where the manipulation part comes in. Then umuntu will also introduce into ekuthiwa emotional blackmail, because uyawazi ukuthi ngifile into enjani, uyawazi ama-flaws ami, uyazi ukuthi these footers are not giving me time, uyazi ukuthi iziphi izinto ezingenza ngibe anxious, you know what triggers me, so you have to walk around eggshells with me. Then umuntu will be able to manipulate you and blackmail you emotionally as well. I'll give you a typical example. I remember I once dated a guy that had never had a father figure in his life, and Miss Kuluma about when you don't communicate with me, I feel a certain way, and I feel like as a man this would be my love language to you, whatever. This guy's response would be, yeah, so sometimes and learn to being shy, oh but I've laid all my cards on the table for you, and I've told you ukuthi mina ngifuna unte kanje, or mina ngiba comfortable umuntu mengikhombisa uthando in this particular way. But ngoba manje sesifike kule point leyo ukuthi wena usiyakwazi manje ukuthi imapha ama weaknesses zami, nami uyazi ukuthi ngiyazi imapha ama weaknesses zakho, you know how to use it to best serve you. Mekuthi khona ingxabane bakhona, or whenever there's an argument, or whenever there's me trying to express my feelings, and you'll make me feel bad for even saying that I have a preference and I have an opinion, you know. So to be very honest with you guys, I've taken a complete leap of faith with my whole life right now, especially in the department of love. Everything else in Pilonyam at the moment is confusing, because as I told you guys in the previous episode, I'm going through the most life-changing thing at the moment. But when it comes to Tand, I've decided ukuthi since and that is something that I can't change. That is something I don't have control over. That is something be like, for the bad bitch. Angwazi against Leon, because the whole experience and the whole knowing what somebody has my back thing is always very comforting for me, you know. So with what I'm trying to say to you guys is that sometimes you have to take a leap of faith to get what you need instead of what you think you want. And with that being said though, angisho ukuthi manje every strange man that you meet vele ugibele empedeni naye. Trust your instinct, ladies, especially men as well. Trust your instinct, because yeah, we live in a very cool world and people are always out here trying to get something that we don't know that we have. But nje, that is pretty much it for today's episode. I don't want to go on for too long. I'm gonna be going out tonight with the mans, you know, so I'm prepping myself. I'm drinking a little wine so that the night goes smoother. As you can see, some bubbles today, but that was basically it. I hope you guys got something from today's episode. I'll be seeing you guys very soon for my next episode, which is actually gonna be a vlog. My first ever vlog is coming. So yes guys, thank you once again for ukubegezela kwenu sizofika to the last part of today's episode. Please do click on that subscribe button. Please do share my content so that more people are able to see it and somebody might be able to relate. Maybe somebody's still confused about actually, you know, going this way instead of their way. But yes, thank you so much for tuning in today. I do hope you guys have an amazing weekend, because I'm hopefully gonna publish this on Friday or Saturday, but whatever. Have a good life. You guys will be seeing me very soon with my vlog. I hope I do see the subscribers going up a bit. And it's your girl Muriel Ndimande. I'll be seeing you guys very soon. Thank you.